Are you struggling with social media and promoting your music, getting more ears and eyes on your social media pages? Well, today on the podcast, we're talking about a few ways to crack the code to get more people interested in what you have going on. We'll see you on the inside. What's going on, everybody? How are you doing? Welcome to the podcast. My name is Mike. You've reached the Songwriter's Planner podcast. I really appreciate you coming out here today and checking it out. If you're here for the first time, thank you for finding me. I'd like to just quickly mention, before we jump into our topic, I like to try to do that a little bit faster these days, is that please check out my podcast, the Songwriter's Planner podcast, on Spotify, Apple Music, here on YouTube. You can subscribe if you're watching it, and of course on my webpage, songwritersplanner.com. Thank you guys for checking it out. Okay, today's topic I wanted to talk about the struggle with social media and why musicians struggle with it so much, why artists and musicians struggle with using social media to promote their music. Now, this of course doesn't mean for everybody. Not everybody struggles with it, but a lot of us musicians, including myself, and I include myself in this because I still make mistakes and I still learn all the time on what's the best practices to do. But overall, I think musicians struggle with how to use social media and how to find more fans. It's one of those things. If it was easy, everybody would be doing it and everybody would have thousands of fans. Unfortunately, that's not the case. With social media, it has changed the way that we promote ourselves as artists and musicians. It has changed the landscape. It has changed the game. It has changed the whole industry. What was once a promotional industry done by a few companies can be done by the masses, by yourself, and it has definitely leveled the playing field. Traditionally, let me just talk about traditionally, if you were going to promote your music, you'd be literally throwing ads in the paper, or if you were lucky enough to have some kind of financial backing, you could run ads in the paper, you could run radio ads, you could make a video and things like that, and put flyers up at your shows. That's the traditional old school style. Now with social media, obviously everything is online, everything is on people's phones, and it is completely different. So with all these changes, with this massive change in a whole industry, with the power that we have as musicians to promote ourselves, why is it so hard to get people to listen to our music and to find us online? To jump right into it, and I will say this right off the top, is that social media the very nature of social media is just that. It's social. And social meaning it's interactive. It is. You get something out of it. You go back and forth. You get some value out of being social. Traditional advertising that musicians and bands and artists would advertise in is a transmit only type of situation. And you've heard me talk about this in my podcasts in the past, in a lot of episodes. I touch on this a lot because it is a shift in the way that we think as artists, where if we're going to tell people about our music and try to get people to listen to us, all we do is promote outward, we promote here. And that means putting a flyer saying, come to my next show, go download my album, check out my video, give me a like, watch me on YouTube. It is a transmit only scenario. And the reason why we do that so much is because that's what we're used to doing. We're used to promoting ourselves through ideas of going, hey, look at me. Look at me, everybody. Listen to me. Look at me. Listen to me. Look at me. That is the traditional way that we promote ourselves. And that way of promotion and one directional only doesn't necessarily work in today's market, in today's social media landscape. It doesn't work as well as it used to. Now, I say as well because in some cases you still can have a promotional situation where you have an artist and all they're doing is putting out videos, putting out flyers. Usually, though, that kind of traction happens when you have an artist that has some kind of financial backing to them, like a label, so to speak. They have the money to put behind these kinds of things, so you can do it in mass droves. But for us as artists, who we may not have that kind of a budget, we are left to our own skill sets, to our own materials, resources to promote ourselves. And if that's the case, then what we need to do is be a little more savvy on these promotional sides so that we're not bombarding people with, check out my flyer, check out my video, check out my next show. And in turn, they're not really getting anything in I'm sorry, let me back up. In return, they're not really getting much from you other than ads. And of course, as we all know in social media, ads get ignored. No matter who you are, no matter what you're doing, ads will get ignored. So how do you break through this constant bombardment that everybody gets from your band, from the band down the street, from the band over in the next city, from the national band to the artists in the coffee shop who are all promoting and all trying to get their music out? How do you break through that? It's not easy, but it is doable, and it takes some time. The secret to getting yourself heard and to people finding you and people listening to you is almost the opposite of what you would think. It has nothing to do with your music. It has everything to do with you adding value and relating to your target fan, you adding value to their lives or entertaining them in a way that they can relate to you. So it's not just check me out, check out my song, check out my video. For example, on social media, if all you're doing is posting your videos and your flyers and saying, come watch me, come look at me, people will tune you out after a while because they're not getting anything out of it other than you just promoting yourself. Take that and switch it around. How about instead of promoting everything about you, promote stuff that is about your music, or promote things that make people laugh. Promote things that add value to people's lives, like an inspiring blog that you can share about something that you believe in as an artist. Or it doesn't even have to do with your music. Post an inspiring quote. Post some support for another artist. Post something funny that they can relate to. Keep it consistent. If you consistently add value and entertain and keep people excited about who you are as a person, they will naturally gravitate towards your music. And if you keep doing that, and then I'd say 80-20, 80% add value, 80% post things that are interesting for the people that know who you are. 20% drop a video. 20% here's a song I just wrote. Keep that percentage going consistently. And what you'll soon see is you'll see more likes. You'll see some comments. You'll see some funny animated GIFs. You'll see people responding to what you're putting out. And then when you get this kind of interaction and you're responding in the comments and people are commenting on your posts and you're commenting back, then post something of your own. Say, hey, everybody, I just wanted to share. Thanks for swinging by my social media. I just wanted to share one of my songs with you. Check it out if you get a chance. Have a great day. There's your 20%. Do those kinds of things consistently over time. And what people will start to feel from you is you're not bombarding them with you. You're saying, hey, this is who I am. This is what I think you might like. Check this cool thing out. Check this out. Hey, I thought this was fun. This was inspiring. Here's a great quote that I saw today. Check it out. Share things that people will be excited about, and it's not just your music. Share things that other people can relate to. Share articles about hiking. You like to go hiking? I've used that example before. Share articles about hiking. Give people more than just your music. And do this consistently. Do it over every day. Post at least twice a day on your Facebook page or your Instagram or wherever you are the most. Keep it fun and relatable for the people who you do have as a target audience. And as you keep doing this over time, you'll start to attract people to your social media. And it may not be just because of your music. You'll start to attract them because they go, oh, wow, this is a fun page. This page posted something that I can relate to. Oh, wow, check it out. This person has a song. I'm going to listen to it. That kind of trust. You're building up trust with an audience that doesn't know who you are. Or if they do know who you are, you're keeping them involved and entertained into what you're doing. Cross-section that to band flyer after band flyer after band flyer. You're going to peak out. You start to peak out at a certain point if all you do is promote you and yourself. Sorry, it's a little sweaty in here, so I'm getting a little warmed up. But if you just keep posting the same thing over and over again, come see me, your crowd fan base is going to peak out at a certain point. Yes, you still will grow if you're still out there doing it, but you will hit a plateau. And to get past that, you have to either run ads or you have to post You have to post content that people can relate to that's more than just your music. If you're lucky, you get a viral video and then you get millions of views. That's the exception. That's not the norm. That is what more of the norm is, that you're grinding at it every day. You're trying to get fans every day, every week, every month. And if you stay consistent and you tell a story and you're entertaining and you're adding value, and when I say add value, you might hear that nowadays on the internet, adding value, give people value. What does that mean? What does that mean for a musician? Well, it means when people come and see your posts or see your content, that they get something from it. They laugh, or they're inspired, or you make them feel some kind of emotion, something that they can remember, or they got a tip from you, or something that they can use later on in life. You give them a cooking tip or something like that. The possibilities are endless when it comes to gaining new fans in ways that is more the norm towards social media. And I say social because it's a social aspect of it, as opposed to just old school promotion, flyer after flyer after flyer. That just doesn't work anymore, and it shouldn't, because we are more connected than ever on the planet. We are more connected in every way possible, that you cannot just shoot ads at people because we tune them out. Think how many times you see an ad on your social media news feeds. Do you look at them? Do you spend any time watching them? You might, if it's something that you're really, really interested in. But the percentage of things that you are really, really interested that come across your social media pages and other ads that fly by, you tune them out. And as musicians and artists, we are no different than that. That's why we have to be more creative and more targeted when we post online and when we use social media to promote. So if you keep continuing every day posting value to people, posting things that you may think that they will like, and then you all of a sudden, that 20%, like I was talking, the 80-20 rule, you drop your flyer for your next show. People will at least pay attention to what you're saying, and they won't just swipe by. It'll be meaningful to them because they're invested in you. They've been invested in you for the past month, past week, getting value from your posts, getting value from your content. That's what I mean about hacking the social media code and hacking how social media can be used for musicians and artists. It's no different than if you were a small business or something like that. You want to give people a reason to choose you, and it's not necessarily going to be your music, especially if they've never heard of you. And like I said, you have two choices. You can either run ads and run things down people's throats, or you can be more creative and more structural and more planned with your social media. People will pay attention to you because they've been following you and the things that you've been posting, and you've been dropping your music in addition to giving people value online. I hope this makes sense. I hope this kind of clears it up. If it doesn't, it's okay. I would highly suggest try it out. Keep trying. It takes time. It takes time to find that sweet spot of content, your music, your content, and finding the right people to promote to. Who's your target audience? Who are people that are going to like your music? Post content that you think they would like. It takes time to do that because it's not going to happen overnight. Social media is a long game, just like your music career and everything that you want in life. It's a long game. It's not going to happen overnight, and social media is no different. Figuring out what your audience is, who they are, and what they like, and how that pertains to you as an artist to get them to your music. It takes time, and it takes effort, and it takes work. But if you give up, you'll lose that momentum. So don't feel like you can't do this, because I'm here to tell you you can, and it is possible. I use social media techniques like this all the time with my projects, and I can definitely tell there's a difference between just posting information about look at me, as opposed to catering to the people that watch and look at your social media. And once you have that kind of traction going and you see the likes and you see the comments coming in, you can run some ads to these people. You can run ads to them and now be like, here's my music. Hey, check it out. They will more likely pay attention to what you have to say if they're vested in what you're doing as an artist in the full picture, not just your music. So I may touch a little bit more on this on a future episode. I feel there's a lot to talk about here. And as always, feel free to let me know what you guys think in the comments. or email me or hit me up on my Facebook page, because I'd love to hear what kind of feedback you guys have from doing these kinds of social media tactics and promotion. We cannot get away, if we're serious about getting our music heard, you can't get away without promoting yourself today as an artist. It is essential. And if you're going to do it yourself, you want to learn the best ways to do it or the best tactics. So I hope this podcast was valuable to you today. I really do. And thank you for swinging by. Like I said, if you like what you hear, hit me up on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and YouTube, as well as my website, songwritersplanner.com. And I'll see you at the next episode. Peace.